Hello, my name is Katie. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be trying out a load of Kiko. That's the wrong side of the box. I'm going to be trying out a load of Kiko makeup. So this is going to be full face testing Kiko. And I have tried a couple Kiko products in the past. I've tried one of their bronzers and two of their setting powders. Both of the setting powders were too dark to me because that's my life. That always happens. The bronzer I thought was pretty decent. I quite liked it. But other than that, I've not really tried Kiko Cosmetics. So we brought a whole face today. So as you can see, I have done a little bit of eyeshadow because I did just buy one single shade, which I'm just going to kind of pop on this centre part of my lid, and then that will be our eye look done. So the eyeshadow that I got is one of their Glitter Shower eyeshadow singles. This is what it looks like here. It's kind of like a rose gold sort of colour. It is absolutely stunning, and I swatched this and it's one of those shades where you swatch it and it just keeps going on and on and on, and you're like, oh my god. If you see what I mean, like, it's just, I didn't even touch it that hard, to be honest. It looks absolutely stunning. It's got a load of kind of like glitter flecks in it, which are really pretty. I definitely think I might pick up some more of these because I think the formula looks really good. So what I'm going to do is literally just grab the product on my finger and pop it just right, well, kind of the main base of my eyelid, to be honest. I mean, that is just beautiful. Like, I need to buy some more of these because that is stunning, so pigmented, and like you can actually kind of see the glitter on your eye, which I really like. Would recommend checking that one out. So that is literally all I wanted to do in terms of my eyeshadow. So we'll move on to some eyeliner and some mascara, and it's not blending away into nothing, which is fantastic. So I did pick up a black eyeliner pencil. This is the Everlasting Kajal in 01. This is a black one, and that is what it looks like there, and there you go. Pretty standard. I'm just going to go ahead and pop this in my top and bottom waterlines. So that's a pretty good eyeliner pencil. Definitely looks very dramatic, very pigmented. The formula is very creamy and glides on very nicely, so that is exactly what I want, and I seem to have managed to get this eyeshadow everywhere. So we're gonna move on to the mascara. This is the Standout Volume Buildable Mascara. I'm pretty sure this was the one that had the best reviews on the website, so I went for it. And it's got really like odd packaging. Like, I've never seen a mascara with this sort of packaging. It's a bit kind of bulky, but I kind of like it. It kind of intrigues me. That's what the wand looks like. You've got all sorts of shapes going on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my top lashes with this mascara. This is how the lashes have turned out. I mean, like, I feel like they look pretty decent. It definitely took me a while to kind of build it up to this point, though. Definitely not the fastest mascara to use. I think it looks pretty nice, but I mean, it's not my favourite mascara ever. Like, I feel like I definitely have encountered better mascaras than this, you know, that just give it a bit more volume and a bit more vavoom. You know, not too bad. Like, I would use that again, definitely. I mean, you can see, like, definitely there is a bit of volume there. Just not my favourite mascara I've come across, you know. So moving on to our base products, I've got the Kiko Full Coverage 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer. This is the one that has like a big doe foot on it. I got mine in the lighter shade, which I think is Warm Ivory. It doesn't say in here, it just says WR01. This colour is definitely a bit dark for me though, unfortunately. So that is the packaging there, and as I said, it comes with a big ass doe foot on it. That seems to be the trend nowadays, doesn't it? I just definitely feel like this colour looks like a little bit dark for me. I just feel like it looks a little bit orangey, as you can kind of see there. Hopefully you can see that. So I think what I'm going to do to combat this is just kind of put it on my face with the doe foot, but then I'll also use a bit of my Revolution Conceal and Correct. This is the white one. I think I'll just put like a few stripes of this one over the top and then just kind of blend it in that way, and hopefully that will lighten it a bit. We'll see anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead smother a load of this on and then smother a bit of my white concealer on as well. I mean, obviously if I had a white foundation with a doe foot, I would use that, but I ain't, so we're using a concealer. Right, so I've got some of the foundation and then some white mixed in there. I'm just going to spray my sponge with some all-nighter. Let's see what sort of coverage this gives. I hope this isn't a fast drying one. Okay, so the colour is definitely still a bit of an issue, but this is what the foundation looks like. I quite like it, you know. It's definitely like pretty decent coverage. I wouldn't say it's full coverage, but it's definitely like quite a high medium, I'd say. Definitely quite like this level of coverage. Seems to be sitting on the skin quite nicely. I say like a little bit sinking into my texture, but this is something that I've noticed that all foundations tend to do to me, so it doesn't look patchy at all or dry or heavy or anything like that. I quite like that actually. I think that's a pretty decent foundation. It's a shame about the colour. I don't necessarily know the way I did that with the white concealer is the best way to deal with the colour. I'd probably just mix it on the back of my hand instead. But actually, I'm quite a fan of that foundation actually. I think it's quite nice. We've also got a concealer to try out. This is the Skin Tone Concealer in the shade 02, and this one actually looks like it should be a good shade for me. Is it there? It's very like pale and quite like warm yellow toned, which is great because I am more yellowy. That's just this shade swatched there, and then you can kind of see that next to the foundation that I put on earlier. Definitely a bit of a colour difference. I'm surprised about how small it is. It is actually like a really diddy tube. I thought it was going to be a bit like of a standard concealer size. It's really diddy. But so we're going to just pop this on under our eyes, our nose, and on any blemishes around my face, and see if this gives us any further coverage. Okay, so I think the doe foot's a little bit like damaged, like it just keeps spinning around and it's kind of like rolling on my face. It's a bit weird, so that's kind of annoying slightly. It's just kind of not like glued on properly. That concealer's got quite a nice finish to it. It's quite like fresh looking on the skin, and as I feel like the foundation was quite matte, and this has kind of brought a bit of like kind of moisture back into my skin. I wouldn't say it's like a super full coverage concealer or anything like that, but it definitely has given some additional coverage, I would say. I like it. It's sitting on the skin really nicely. I will just want to try that one out again, especially on like a day where I'm just using concealer all over instead of over the top of foundation, because I do that like quite regularly. I'll just use concealer all over, but I feel like you can really test like how good the coverage is when you do it that way. So again, it's not like a super full coverage concealer or anything like that, just based on this first use, but I mean it's definitely not too bad. It has given some additional coverage definitely, and has a nice finish on the skin, and I'd say it's quite buildable just from putting that over that spot again. Overall, I'm definitely happy with this level of coverage overall on my base, definitely. Now, the setting powder that I got is the Invisible Touch Face Fixing Powder, and it looks like this. It's a bit of a weird kind of packaging. It's not a powder that I've seen before, definitely, but it's like a loose powder, and you have like this kind of puff that's attached to the lid, so I think I will try out the puff because I'm quite curious about it. They had like this translucent pressed powder. I think it was from the Dark Treasure Rain, and I really wanted to get that one because I just looked totally up my street, but it must have been discontinued by the time I went to order it because it was gone off the website and I could not find it anywhere else. As I mentioned earlier, I have tried a few powders from Kiko before, so I've got the Radiant Fusion in 01, which it's just a bit too dark for me. I can't really get away with the colour. If I've got like a really pale base on, then maybe. And then the other one I got was the Matte Fusion Pressed Powder in 04, so I'm not even sure if this is the lighter shade, but again, that one's just too dark for me. The formulas were pretty good, nothing against the formulas though. Okay, there's definitely some powder on there. I think I'd probably need a little brush just to get right under my eyes. I feel like the kind of puff sort of works because it's really like firm, so obviously it's just going to pack the powder on, so I can't really see anything wrong with using this. Obviously you can't really get under your eyes with it though, that's the one issue. Bit hard around the nose as well. Okay, well I think my face is set. I think like it's okay kind of to use like around the face, like it's not too inconvenient. I mean, I just find loose powders generally a bit of a pain in the ass, but obviously you can't really do like intricately under your eyes with this sort of thing. I mean, the powder itself seems definitely mattified me really well. Don't feel any kind of oil or tackiness coming through, which is great, and I wouldn't say it looks super heavy or anything on the skin, so pretty good powder really. I mean, if you're into loose powders I would recommend this, but if you're like me and you're a bit meh about loose powders, then you know, I just didn't really have a lot of options to choose from, you know. I didn't pick up a bronzer from them, there just wasn't anything on the website that I was particularly keen on getting, so I will just use the bronzer that I've already tried from them. This is their Gold Waves bronzer in 01 Sun Celebration Honey. I think this is probably discontinued by now. That's the one thing that kind of annoys me about Kiko, is they seem to bring in a lot of different like limited edition ranges, so it's kind of like a bit annoying that they're just going to keep kind of coming and going. This smells like amazing. It's like, ugh, so good. Yeah, that's what the colour looks like there. It's not the perfect shade for me, but it'll do. I'm just gonna use this to warm up me face a bit. So I actually picked up two different highlighters. They're both Glow Fusion powder highlighters. They're just in different shades. So I've got 01 first, which is this colour. This is kind of like a very white, but it's got a little bit of a kind of goldy champagne tone to it. Looks very pretty. And I've also got 04. This is a more kind of lilac-y coloured one. Yeah, that's what that one looks like there. Definitely very kind of purpley, lilac-y. So I'm going to start with 01, the more white, goldy coloured one, which looks pretty. And I'm just going to start by putting this one on this cheekbone and just see what exactly it does. So this isn't coming out too pigmented, but something that I've noticed is that some translucent powders, like I'll put highlight on top and it won't show up very well. I've noticed this a lot with kind of loose translucent powders, that kind of happens. I don't know if that's just a weird thing with my skin, but I definitely feel like it's a very subtle, it's not popping too much, so I'm a little bit underwhelmed by that. But again, I don't know if that's because of the powder. So we'll try out the 04, the lilac-y one, just on the other side. Okay, these highlighters just really aren't doing it for me, if I'm honest. I mean, I'm a bit more into natural kind of subdued highlight lately, but this is just a bit too subdued. Like, it needs to do something, you know. Again, that could be because of the powder, so I will need to try these out again with a different base underneath, but from first impressions, I'm just a bit underwhelmed by both of these highlighters. They just don't seem to have an awful lot of pigment, if I'm honest. It's just a shame, because the colours look really nice. I'm going to go back in with the white one though and just finish it off, pop it on my nose, keep us bones in. I've got two eyebrow products. So the first one is a Precision Eyebrow Pencil, which I think also came with a sharpener as well. Mine's in the shade 02 and it's quite like a thin pencil, which is quite cool. I've not seen one quite so thin before, and obviously you've got this kind of weird, not a standard spoolie, but something to brush through your brows there. And then it's just I've gone for quite a dark brown colour. And then the other thing that I got was the Eyebrow Fibers Coloured Mascara in the shade 05. So this is like a tinted brow gel, which looks like this. Has got a bit of a big wand, which I'm not a massive fan of. I'd much prefer a kind of more micro kind of wand. I don't know whether I want to fill in my brow with the pencil and then set it with the gel, or if I want to fill in my brow with the gel and then use the pencil to touch it up. I'm having a bit of a debate for myself here. I think I'm just going to use the brow gel first and then touch up with the pencil, just because that is what I do more so on a regular basis. But I will at some point try out the pencil just to kind of fill in my whole brow. The colour is a quite dark brown, maybe a little bit lighter than what I wanted, but it should do. I'm going to wipe off any excess as I would normally do. A bit of excess definitely, not as much as some brow gels I've encountered, but definitely quite a bit of excess there. So I'm just gonna comb through my brows with this gel. I just find that you can get in there a lot better with the smaller ones, but we'll do the best that I can with this. Okay, it's a shame about the brush because the formula actually seems pretty decent with that brow gel. It's definitely not like too harsh or anything like that, but it's just giving me some definition, so I like that brow gel. I just wish that it was the smaller ones just because then I could get in there more precisely, but formula seems pretty spot on to me really. I'm gonna go in with the brow pencil and just kind of define my brows a bit more. Okay, I'm happy with the brow pencil as well. I like that it's kind of smaller than your typical pencil, so it just allows you to kind of be a little bit more precise with your application, which is exactly what I want when I'm doing my brow. Yes, I quite like this pencil actually. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some shadow on my lower lash line and just put a bit more mascara on my bottom lashes, and then I'll be back to try out the lip product. Okay, so we're back with the eyes finished. So we've got one last product to try out. This is the Sparkling Holiday Matte Lipstick in the shade 01. And I think the Sparkling Holiday is a limited edition range. I did want to kind of avoid the limited edition stuff, but I just saw this and it was up my street. I just liked the look of it. Again, you've got this really cool packaging. Kiko seems to do some very interesting packaging, and I think it's kind of like a magnetic one. Yeah, it's a magnetic one, so that's quite handy. Means your lid's not going to fall off or anything. This just looks like a beautiful like matte brownie nude. This is 100% the sort of thing I'd want on my lips on a regular basis. My lips are a bit like dry and like kind of sore at the moment, so hopefully this doesn't look too like crusty, but we're just gonna try this out to finish the look. And it just went straight onto my tooth. Accidentally kind of gone over the lines a little bit, but I mean that colour is beautiful. It's incredibly pigmented, very smooth and creamy. It is like a tiny bit kind of like dry, but like I think that's just because I'm having a really bad lip day. I don't think that's the sort of thing it probably would normally do. Not really like sore, I don't know the word, you know, when your lips are just kind of like peeling a bit. Yeah, I mean, not pleasant, sorry. But I actually think that's stunning. I think that might be my new like favourite go-to lipstick. Just very like pigmented, and it just feels very nice to apply. But it's definitely like matte though, like it's creamy but it's also matte, so I like it, up my street. So I think that's pretty much everything tried and the finished makeup look. So overall I would say I feel like quite a lot of products I've really liked, been a few misses definitely, but I would say that overall Kiko's definitely got some stuff worth checking out. And so my favourite products, definitely this lipstick, the pencil eyeliner in my waterline really liked, the beautiful rose gold eyeshadow loved. I actually quite liked the brow products. I just wish that the wand and that brow gel was smaller, but the pencil was pretty good, and the actual effect of the gel I liked. The formula of the foundation is perfect, it's just a shame about the colour. I will just have to kind of find ways to mix with that one. But the formula of it I really liked. And again, I need to try out the concealer again. I don't think it's a super full coverage concealer, but definitely a nice concealer that I would definitely continue to use. Powder, like I kind of like it, but I feel like it's potentially one of those powders where it kind of affects the kind of performance of your highlighter. I mean, that could just be the highlighters weren't good, but if that isn't the case, then I think the powder is actually pretty decent, definitely like really good at mattifying your face, and the finish looks pretty good. I just don't know if it's the most kind of convenient thing to use. The only kind of thing that's like a bit disappointing is the highlighters. I just feel like they've really done nothing to my face, but I will give them another go with some different base products underneath and hope that helps them improve. And the mascara, I actually do really like the mascara. It's just not my favourite mascara that I've ever tried, but I mean, I'll just give you a kind of closer look. It's definitely not bad by any means. Like that's, you can see there's definitely some volume and some length and some thickness there. It's just, I don't know, I've just tried so many good mascaras recently that, I mean, I don't know, I've just gotten a little bit picky, I guess. That will be it for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.